Since I've started my hobby of doing models, miniatures, painting, I find it interesting that every now and then I get to use these skills on something that's not in the hobby. For example, I've gotten to use this to paint exhibits. I've used it to paint old office equipment for the Stutsman County Courthouse. I get interesting challenges with this every now and then, and it's always fun to see, can I use my hobby skills in other real-world applications? And for the most part, I can. Board games, role-playing games, assembling and painting models and miniatures. These are my hobbies. I'm Howard Blues, one half of the popular podcast Beer, Blues, and BS. And now join me as I rebuild my cave of one. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Howard's Cave of Wonder. I'm Howard Blues, and today, it's we're kind of wrapping up the Thanksgiving Day, weekend, the long weekend. And one of my wife's traditions is always to take and start decorating for Christmas. So she got the tree up and she was doing decorations. Now, Howie Jr., he is a toddler and he loves to help. And usually it's not a bad thing. But today, however, his helping involved him throwing some Christmas ornaments, and he ended up breaking one of my wife's Christmas ornaments. And he was really upset by it. And my wife's just like, don't worry, Dad'll fix it. And so now I find myself with this challenge of trying to fix this Winnie the Pooh ornament. And so let's see if I can make use of my hobby skills to repair this ornament. Okay, so as I said in the intro, my little guy broke an ornament, and he didn't do it on purpose. So let's assess here. We have the broken ear, got that. An arm coming off. We have the arm, and then some damage here to the trumpet. You can kind of see how it's no longer properly aligned. It needs to be closer to that. So I think the first step will be that we're going to have a little bit of touch-up paint to do on the bottom of it. So probably best to try and get that glued first. Do the touch-up paint real quick. I mean, it's going to be on the bottom, so I have already found a color. That's not the right color. Found a color that is close. This is Reaper's Clockwork Brass. So we'll use that just to kind of dab in and hide. So the only thing I don't really like is how springy this trumpet is, because that means it's going to kind of bounce back a little bit on me. So let's try. Let's see what we can do. So we'll start there. Start with the trumpet. And I'm going to actually, it's flexible enough I can kind of do this. So I'm going to just pop up, just drop, drop, drop. I am just using Loctite gel. Actually, not the gel. I'm using the liquid. I'll just hold. It's going to take a little bit because, as I said, that piece is kind of under some pressure. While I'm still letting that glue set, my next kind of challenge is the ear. I want to get the ear on right away. So first thing, I kind of got to match it. So there we go. So that's it. I always like to try and kind of have the best sense of how these pieces are going to go on before I put the glue to it. I mean, the thing is, it's going to have a little bit of a line. That's okay. So a little bit of glue. Line my ear up. Like I said, a little bit of a line, but for the most part, Piglet gets his ear back. I'm just going to go around with my finger real quick and just kind of sop that up. Okay. And I'll maybe try and do a little bit of hiding on that. So while that's now drying, before I start on the arm, let's take the paint. Now I'm also going to, at the same time, mix in a little bit of matte varnish. And the reason I'm going to mix my matte varnish into this is this matte varnish by Vallejo is basically acrylic resin. And so it is going to help me kind of fill some gaps as I do this. Get the effect we want. So just don't need a whole lot of that. They drop. That. I'm going to put just the tiniest drop of water in. Give that just a little spirit. So the paint will give it match the color. The varnish, because it is clear when it dries, will give it strength, which is the hope. I'm just going to use this brush. Almost realized I don't have glasses on. Okay. Turn it around, find the angle at which I can get in there. And we're just going to drop some of this in. It's going to look a little lighter to begin with, but it should dry. As I said, that acrylic varnish will, in theory, kind of fill in those cracks. I'm actually kind of running it up along the trumpet here. Just kind of covering this black. Why? And since it kind of split along there, my hope is that it will just kind of cover. That again, that acrylic, that varnish will help kind of not only seal it, but strengthen it as well. So I'll bring it up along the top. And there's just a couple of spots here where the hand kind of was. We'll just kind of place that on. And there we go. A little bit more, just down there. And voila. Now, I do see a couple of spots I got here on Piglet. Not a problem. I'm just gonna get it a little wet here. Bring in a different dry brush. I just mean a brush that is dry. And just kind of work on pulling that off. Just like that. Use a little fingernail action there. Okay. So there. You can kind of tell that the trumpet doesn't quite line up, but as I said, with it being under pressure, that was going to be a tough thing. So now let's move on to that ear. Right? See if we can't fix his ear. Or at least color it. So again, we're going to add in a color. Oh, we got a problem. We got a jam. We're going to need to move the camera back. I need to dig in here for the genuine Reaper Pokey tool. We'll just put again a few drops. Now, because this is not quite the right color, I want to just put in a little bit of this color. And we're going to just try and get it close. Again, a little matte varnish. And some water. Stir, 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 stir. So, kind of pick that up, take a look. I think we're close. I think we are very close. So we're gonna again just do this, and again I'm just gonna go right along that crack line. Sorry, camera. Just keep it just a little light, and if I can figure out which side has the break, we can just. Okay, my color is not quite right, but should be just good enough. And hide. Now this part kind of has his normal flesh tone. So I'm going to try just bring some of this other color in just a little bit. And truthfully, by adding the water and kind of keeping my paint just a tiny bit thinner, should hopefully work. All right, now that I have got that done, it's looking good. The color isn't quite right, but it's good enough. It's going to work. So my next step is to glue on the arm. So start by kind of taking and trying to find the right color for this. And for his main flesh color, it's a little different. So I'm going to add in a little bit more of the ashen rose, trying to lighten it up some. But it's also got a bit of a yellowish tone to it. And what can I try? What can I add? I'm looking. Let's try some of this. No, maybe this. Problem with so many paints, trying to find the right color can sometimes be a bit on the difficult side. Okay, I think I'm going to use a little pure white. I think that'll help kind of desaturate the color a little bit. I also have grabbed a bit of golden highlight, maybe a little yellow. Yeah, so I think I have my colors. And I'm just going to try to alter this original color. So let's squeeze in some of that golden highlight into it. Give that a quick mix and see. Gosh, that looks really yellow. I'm not sure, but as I keep mixing it, maybe. The thing is, I'm really trying to experiment with this, and color mixing is never my strong point. Take a look. It's not bad. It's not bad. I do think it's a bit too yellow. So I'm going to add a bit more of the kind of Monster Maw pink in, just to maybe tone down that yellow just a bit. So once again, mix that up. Mix. Yeah. Okay. And I think we got it. I think it will be close. Gonna add some water right into my palette because I want to thin this down. I'm hoping that maybe if I just do a nice thin layer, I won't have nearly the problem with getting it to match. So now that I kind of have my paint going, let's glue this arm back on. Just gonna test fit it, make sure. Okay, got my placement. Okay. Oh, this is gonna be a little tricky, but let's just go for it. So, adding some glue onto the arm. That. Put the cap back on. And bring it in, and now we're just gonna kind of hold it in place for a bit. A little bit seeping out, just gonna clean that up with my fingers. I know that's not the best thing to do, but it's what I got. And we'll just hold and let it sit. Okay, so reattached the arm on there. I need to do a little bit of just paint touch up. Again, gonna just roll that. Just having a bit of an issue because I had some gunk come out of my resin tube that's kind of messing with it. So as I said, just kind of darkening that in. It's not quite the right shade. Let's bring it down just a tish. That looks a little bit better. Just put that in like that. Okay, and by then my arm should be done. Again, I want to keep this fairly light, fairly thin. I just want to try to hide that crack just a tiny bit. There. Okay. And that brings that to a close. We have our little project here done. So if I kind of hold it up a little bit higher so you can see. The paint will dry. It'll take it a little bit too, but it's not going to be too terribly noticeable that we made those few repairs to it. So there we go. Is it a perfect repair? No. There's definitely, I mean, as the guy who fixed it, I can definitely tell you where the pieces were broken, and the paint isn't quite right. Color matching has never been my strong suit. I don't know what it is. It's a skill that I'm still constantly working on. But overall, I'm happy. My wife's happy. It's done, and it now is up and on display. So it's great to always see that hobby skills can transfer to real life skills. So thank you all for tuning in. Hopefully some of you found this interesting, and maybe some of you have never thought about transferring skills like this. But if anyway, at least you got to see me try this, and this was a great chance for me to try actually painting something on camera and kind of learning some of that because I've got a much bigger project I want to work on. So to get that to work, I need to figure out how this works. So this is a great excuse up. So thank you again for tuning in, and we'll see you next time down here in the cave.